Welcome to Sparks of History, where Jewish history and world history meet. We are extremely pleased to have with us today Dr. Sophie Duncan. Dr. Duncan is Research Fellow and Dean for Welfare at Magdalen College at the University of Oxford. Dr. Duncan's research interests encompass early modern, Victorian, and contemporary drama, and has written extensively about William Shakespeare. Dr. Duncan has served as a historical advisor in theater, radio, and television, including for the BBC, the Kiln Theatre, the New Vic, and the Kenneth Branagh Theatre Company. She is the author of Shakespeare's Women, Shakespeare's Props, Memory, and Cognition, Searching for Juliet, The Lives and Deaths of Shakespeare's First Tragic Heroine. And today we were looking at the relationship of Shakespeare, the great bard, and the Jewish people and the Jews. Dr. Duncan, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you for having me. It's really lovely to be speaking to you.
Thank you. Just to get started in a more general way, William Shakespeare, during his lifetime, were his plays received well? Was he famous during his own lifetime?
Yes, the plays were received very well. Writers tended not to be famous in quite the same way as the theatre companies who performed their plays. Shakespeare was also an actor, but no, the plays were really well received. Some of the ways we can tell that are that when Elizabeth I died and James I came to the throne, he became the company's patron, and they were the company that put on all Shakespeare's plays for most of his career. Another way we can tell is that he became very rich off the back of his plays. Unusually for the time, he was a shareholder in his theatre company, so he made a bit of money from every performance of his plays. Many of his plays went through lots and lots of editions in print, which is quite impressive considering that literacy levels at the time in England obviously weren't that high. And another way we can tell is that quite a lot of plays he didn't write were attributed to him by publishers, presumably in the hope of shifting more copies that way. And sorry,
please
no, go on. Oh, and one other thing which occurs to me is you do get people, kind of literary critics at the time, commenting on who the best writers are, and he typically makes it into those lists.